CNBC-TV18 Weekender.
Hello and welcome to a very special episode of The Weekender on CNBC-TV18. I call it special for myself because the person I'm talking to today, Mr. Bharat Puri, he's unknowingly been a very important part of all our childhoods. He's worked with Asian Paints, you've worked with Cadbury's, and now you work with Pidilite. We all went to school with Fevicol, Fevicryl when we came home. You must be not getting a lot of sleepless nights. You know, the brands take care of themselves.
I wish it were true. Yes, it's a pleasure always looking after brands such as these. But the challenge always is every day is a new day, and every day you have to figure out where are the newer consumers or where are the new users.
Well, I must congratulate you. Cadbury apart, which was a specialized product, for Asian Paints as well as Pidilite, these were commoditized products. And you guys actually went ahead and made consumer brands out of that. How do you do that?
I think the credit actually goes to the teams over time. As the orchestra conductor, you get a lot more of the credit than actually you should. It's all the players. And, you know, when you look at a brand like Fevicol, it's been consistently built now for over 50 years. And really, therefore, if I was to give credit for Fevicol, I would say the principal players are the Parekh family, our founder, Mr. B.K. Parekh, and then our current chairman, Mr. Madhukar Parekh. Very ably partnered by my dear friend Mr. Piyush Pande. I think
have you guys given him any sweat equity? Because, you know, that's one common thread. You worked at Cadbury, Asian Paints and Pidilite. O&M, that's the common thread, right?
It is fascinating. It is like, you know, I always joke that O&M is always part of my dowry. Wherever I go, O&M is with me. And it's, I mean, as far as Piyush is concerned, forget sweat equity. He's an owner of the brand. As far as Fevicol is concerned, believe me, he goes to a small town anywhere in India and he sees something that is not right with Pidilite, not right with the brand is not being, whether it's Fevicol or Fevikwik or Dr. Fix-It, he will call, he has as much ownership as anybody else and he has as much influence, if not more than any of us, because he completely owns the brand.
Right now, there is a bit of an issue as far as the GST is concerned. The big fat Indian wedding. How are you taming that?
I think there will be a short-term impact of GST. There is no doubt about that. This is something that will take some time before it gets smoothened out. But when it does happen, hopefully we will all be smiling.
So what kind of initial assessment have you made as far as destocking is concerned on GST?
So I would suspect that the last 10 days of June and probably the first 15 days of July will be the period where people, you know, figure out the new normal. All dealers are obviously looking at keeping stocks at a bare minimum.
How have you handheld all your dealers?
We've actually trained all of our distributors physically. We've gone down to each of the locations, explained to them GST, explained to them how their world changes. We've actually given them new billing software and how they can bill their consumers. Told them how to treat the stock. We have a GST control room now operating where anybody can call us any time of the day or night. Any issues, even things like, you know, has he not got a GSTN number? Is it not matching with his PAN number? All kinds of things.
After the GST uncertainty, can we get back to the double-digit volume growth?
I have no doubts about that. I mean, it may take a little bit of time post the GST settling down.
Any inkling of how much time?
If I was optimistic, 3 months. If I was pessimistic, 6.
Okay.
But a lot of people tell me both may be optimistic. But I think it will be between 3 to 6 months.
Okay. No, I asked that question to you particularly because for a company like Pidilite, the first quarter is very important. Does that revenue which has gone come back or it's a lost opportunity?
What has actually gone will be a large amount of stock in trade. So I would suspect most of it will come back. I don't think there is any lost sales. So that doesn't worry me too much or doesn't worry us too much. And therefore, if we can return to double-digit volume growth, we should all be smiling. And that should be our objective.
Double-digit volume growth, 3 to 4% pricing growth, which the company has historically done. 15% plus revenue growth over the next 3 years would make you a 10,000 crore sales company. Is that a possibility?
See, I don't want to put any numbers. As you know, Pidilite, we have a philosophy, do the right thing and the numbers follow. My best indicator of success is, are more people using and consuming my product? If I am getting double-digit volume growth, I am happier. Then the numbers, there are smart financial analysts like you who will keep spinning those numbers. I will leave those to you.
Underserved markets where you see an opportunity. Where is that right now?
8 out of 10 homes in India have a seepage or a leakage problem. 2 out of 10 address it. So the job again here is category creation. Which is why, if you look at, for example, our latest form of communication with Mr. Bachchan, it's not about selling our brand. It's about actually getting people sensitive to waterproofing.
Yes, but I am compelled to come back to numbers. What kind of opportunity do you see for waterproofing?
See, the opportunity is as big as we make it. I keep telling my team, guys, don't look left.
How big do you want to make it?
I think we must make this our next big Fevicol.
So you expect Dr. Fix-It to be a 2,000 crore rupee brand by?
I will again, we go back, forget the buy. I expect Dr. Fix-It to always be equal to waterproofing. When people think of waterproofing, they will think of Dr. Fix-It.
You're definitely not going to give us any numbers, are you?
See, that it's a philosophy. It's not that obviously internally we operate on targets.
Internally, that's your target. Now I'm inside your cabin. I gotta get something. Margins. Are you at a comfortable level at the margins, or do you expect some downside there?
No, I actually think that our margins are a little higher than they should be. We've been lucky vis-a-vis commodity prices.
Right.
And I think high teens to the 20% is the ideal margin for a company like us, because that also, in the end, I would prioritize volume growth over margin.
The kind of moat that you've created around all the carpenters, what stops another company from replicating that?
I think it's over time the relationships that we've built. Today, for example, there are generations of carpenters. We have, for example, over 1,000 Fevicol champion clubs across the country, from places diverse.
Basically the Facebook before Facebook.
Yes, it's the Facebook before Facebook.
Fevicol Facebook.
They've all got their own app. They're now on SMS with us. So it's not just about, hey, listen, use our product and you get points, or you get... It's about creating a community which goes far beyond. So, for example, we actually educate them on new tools that are coming. We actually educate them on new ways of billing, and therefore create this community, keep making sure that we invest back in the community, and it pays us back.
How did it pay you back, if you could tell us some story?
My parents in Chandigarh were actually getting some furniture done, and my mother rang me up and I said, listen, in all small towns you have the same carpenter who comes every year. And my Fevicol salesperson was sitting next to me, and he turns to me and says, are you getting some work done? I said, yeah, we've got this carpenter called Raju in Chandigarh and he does our work. By evening, my team had met Raju, explained to him what to do, just based on Raju Chandigarh. There were 4 Rajus in Chandigarh on the database. They figured out the right one. Now, that's our extent of user connect, and that's what makes Pidilite special.
At this point in time, let's take a short break. Come back, we'll talk more about the story of Bharat Puri and Pidilite.
CNBC-TV18 Weekender.